Hey everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. Today we're talking about the ebbs and flows of your weight loss. You've got to recognize these ahead of time because they're going to happen. You got to get out of the idea that you're going to start your plan on Monday and magically stick with it perfectly until you reach your goal weight. That's not going to happen. And then on top of that, once you get to your goal weight, if you're lucky enough to do it, you're not going to stay at that same exact weight all the time. You're not going to eat the same exact weight from that point forward. There's going to be ups and downs with your weight because you're a human being and there's going to be ups and down, ebbs and flows with your life. Good and bad things are going to happen and they're going to impact you. You're not a robot. You're not a person that can be perfect forever because you've got a life that's giving you all sorts of challenges and support at different times. Again, it ebbs and it flows. But if you don't appreciate this, what happens is you put yourself into this bizarro perfection world where you expect that no matter what happens, death of loved ones, moving, losing a job, fighting with your partner, kids getting sick, that you're just always going to eat exactly the same, that you're going to stay exactly the same and do everything perfectly. That's not going to happen. And so you need to prepare ahead of time that there's going to be ebbs and flows with life that are going to impact your eating, that are going to impact your weight. And when you start to realize that, I think you start to set yourself up to come up with a much more realistic strategy to achieve and then sustain the weight loss that you want to experience. But you're never going to be like this one note, okay, now I just eat this way. That's how I'm going to eat forever. Never going to happen because your life's never going to stay static. It's constantly shifting and changing. And the way I always refer to these ebbs and flows and how to deal with them is to put into your mind that the process of mastering your weight, of getting to your goal weight and then staying there is one very much like surfing. And you're never just in this static position. You're constantly adjusting to the wave. And the wave is constantly transitioning and being different, just like your life is, your energies, your emotions, your reality. It's always shifting and ebbing and flowing and helping you and challenging you. And so you need to recognize this going into it and have strategies that not only allow you to deal with the downtimes, but almost more importantly is to accept that you can't always act up here. You can't always operate up at this level. Sometimes your productivity, the way you're working, the way you're eating, it's going to dip. And we have to have some space to acknowledge and accept that because that's life. And so you start to have more flexibility with yourself, some more compassion, some more empathy that yes, sometimes you're going to eat great and sometimes you're just going to be a little bit off. That's normal and natural. This is why we have the all or something mindset as opposed to the all or nothing, because all or nothing sets you up for failure because there's going to be times when you can't be all. And then you go to nothing. So as long as you're always doing something, you can still handle and absorb these ebbs and flows that happen. But if you think you're going to be perfect, what's most likely going to happen is you'll do great for a little while and then you'll come completely blown off course because of the challenging times. So start to approach your weight with more flexibility, with more understanding, more compassion, and realization that there are ups and downs and they are going to impact you, but it's how you respond to them over time that's truly going to make the difference. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them because that's what I like to do. I like to hear your questions. What are you thinking about weight loss? I know you want to lose weight, but why isn't it happening? You don't know. Maybe you do know. Maybe you think you know, and it's not true though. Who knows? So any questions are welcome because that's my goal here is to help you all with this. Kathy says, I just read about those that lost weight eat their food on saucers instead of dinner plates. Yeah, I mean, that's one tactic to add to the arsenal. Okay. That's not going to do it. That's not, if I went into your house and changed all your plates into saucers, that's not going to fix your weight, that alone. But certainly it's something that can help because a lot of visual cues are impacting how we eat. And so when we look at food on a plate, our brain it's impacting how much of it we're going to eat in a lot of different ways. So that is a real study. I suppose it's real. That actually, those studies come from Brian Wansink, who was a researcher at the Cornell Food Lab. And I'm a big fan of his books. I like them, and I thought they were really interesting. That Food Lab's fascinating. They set up like a restaurant. They track everything, size of plates, music, lighting. I mean, it's really interesting stuff. But then I also know he got in a little bit of trouble. I guess I'm not a scientist, so I don't know what they're talking about, but I guess some of his methodologies maybe were a little overstated. I don't know exactly what happened. A little bit of hot water, but I like them, and I think it's true. I've tested that out, and absolutely, it makes a lot of sense to me that when you eat on a big plate, a lot of food seems like not as much. When you eat on a small plate, that same amount of food seems like a ton. It's heaping over. And so perception is reality, absolutely. And I think that starting to eat off of smaller plates. I do that with chips. If I have like sometimes Saturday nights, I'll eat some like hot chips. And I'll put them in a small bowl. That's absolutely a tactic that you want to use. So I applaud the tactic. I think it's real, but I also just like to reinforce that one tactic never alone is going to fix this issue. You need a comprehensive, holistic strategy where we use every tactic that works for us. And that's a good one, though. I think, in eating your food off of smaller plates or bowls or whatever, it does have a psychological effect that for most people will make it easier and naturally almost you will consume less food. So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because that is real as far as I can tell. I don't know. I liked what he said. And again, intuitively to me, a lot of his stuff made sense. So scientifically, I don't know what the issues were. And he says, yes. So that's good. But yeah, here we are on a Friday. So hope you're all, this is a funny time. I will tell you, is right before the 4th of July and everything, be careful now. This is all or something. Okay, Jackie asked this. I'll go right into this through the question though. Jackie says, how can I get out of the all or nothing cycle and quitting after one mistake? Yeah, I mean, that's a great question, Jackie, a really, really important question. And my first answer to you is going to be go to my bio, click the link, get the hypnosis session and watch the video I made for you, because what that does, it's a 20-minute video, but it'll give you a new paradigm, a new understanding and concept of how to deal with your weight. And I think before I tell you how to deal with the all or nothing cycle, we can't just stop being all or nothing. You can't just stop shit, folks. You can't just stop eating unhealthy food because nature abhors a vacuum. Your mind abhors a vacuum. And every diet you've done is pretty much, I have to stop eating these types of foods. So you're literally creating a vacuum. That's not how your brain works behaviorally. You need to implement a new alternative. And so you can't just stop being all or nothing. You got to be something else. And what that something else is, I suggest, is becoming all or something. And so being all or something will make a lot more sense if you go and watch that video, but let's get into it. So quitting after one mistake is the classic. That's the classic dieter move. And you've got to stop that instantly. Now, the secret is that if you're a dieter, the reason you usually quit though, is because usually you're doing some extreme shit, right? Let's just pick your poison. You tell me the diet and there it is. It's extreme. It could even be the Mediterranean diet, which is the best diet there is. But again, it's still not going to help you lose weight, because what you're going to do, even if you're going to do the Mediterranean diet, the most common sense, best diet out there, the Mediterranean diet. And you dieters are going to fuck it up because what are you going to do? Okay, tomorrow I start my Mediterranean diet where I 100% change my diet and now I just eat Mediterranean food. And that's where you make the mistake. Because any diet you tell me about, it's not even, I love the Mediterranean diet. So I feel the same way about the Mediterranean diet I feel about the keto diet. They're both dumb in the sense that you're going to change everything 100% tomorrow and expect that you're just going to keep that change from tomorrow on. And that's where you're making the mistake. So if you think about that another way, that dieting mindset is an all or nothing mindset. Because again, you're going from doing nothing to all of a sudden I'm eating only Mediterranean food. Now I'm not eating any carbs. Now I'm eating 1,200 calories. Now I'm tracking every calorie. You're doing something extreme. And so what happens is it takes a lot of effort and energy to do something extreme. And what's really the engine behind that energy to do something extreme is that I'm going to do something extreme because I want to get fast results. And so now you're thinking of your weight loss like it's a sprint. And if you think about a sprint like a race, if you run a sprint, you can only win it with perfection. If you trip a little bit in a sprint, you've lost. Okay. So subconsciously, you've turned your weight loss into a sprint. And so the second you make a mistake, it feels catastrophic. But that's because you're thinking of it in a short-term time frame. And so it just feels like, oh, now I blew it. And on top of that, once you make a mistake, now you feel like, oh, to get back on track, you have to do this giant thing again. And so you have no plan B, C, or D with your weight loss plans. You've got one plan and it's perfection or nothing. And it's the fucking dumbest strategy on the planet and it will never work. It worked for a couple people. I mean, there's always outliers, but it's not going to work for you most likely, statistically. So it's the alternative. It's all or something. And again, behind it though is a mindset. That's why I urge you to go, listen to the hypnosis session, watch the video so you have more context to what I'm saying. But the all or something mindset says, I know I'm going to fuck up. I know I'm going to make mistakes because I'm a human and I'm looking to change my behavior. I can't just change it all in one day. Sorry, can't do that. Not long term. And so we recognize we're going to make mistakes. We can aim for being great and perfect and all the rest of it. Great. But we also recognize I'm probably going to make some mistakes. When I make mistakes, what am I going to do? And that, Jackie, is where you start the answer to your question. What will I do when I make a mistake? I'll tell you what I do. When I overeat or eat the wrong food, you know, the first thing I do, I grab for my water and I drink some water, because again, my weight mastery approach is not just what I'm eating. I follow the weight mastery pyramid. So I have the weight mastery pyramid is mindset on the bottoms. It's the most important, then lifestyle, and then eating. And so I have the lifestyle pieces under it. So I eat a bunch of bullshit. I want to mentally get myself back on track as quick as possible. And the fastest way for me to do that most of the time, I'll drink some water. I'm not happy with it. I wish I didn't eat that. I did too much. Okay, I'm back on track. I got my water. Let's do it. And then if I want to go further than that, I might go for a walk afterwards. I might go to bed earlier that night. So I'm looking to get back on track as quick as I can with other things other than just eating perfectly. You see, that's what a lot of dieters are doing. The only way to get back on track is to start eating perfectly again, which means to start tracking every calorie, to only eat, meat, to never eat carbs, whatever the bullshit is that you're trying to do perfectly. It feels overwhelming. And that's why you can't get yourself back on track right away. So again, the secret is to start having more alternative strategies to use. So again, you want to eat great, but when you don't, you have other plans in there. Or maybe I'll have a piece of an apple next. I'll have a salad tomorrow, whatever, something to back it up. So the more kind of like flexible you get in your thinking, the more granular you understand the different things you can do, I think the more options you have to get yourself out of that. I see Dan wrote a question. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Dan says, if I eat slowly, I normally feel full before I finish versus when I snarf and still feel hungry. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I hope you all know that. I mean, I feel like that's kind of conventional wisdom. You may or may not know it, but it's really important that it takes a little while, and it's not only that, but it's the food we eat. That's the other piece of it that I've learned somewhat recently. It's not just that if you eat fast or slow, because again, it takes a little while for your brain to catch up to your body. So if you eat a bunch of calories real fast, it takes, 10, 15 minutes. That's just a ballpark. It may take longer or less for you, but, it takes 15 minutes. You start eating, it takes 15 minutes for your brain to get the message that we had enough food. Okay. So if you're eating really fast, you don't give your brain a chance to catch up to it. And now you've eaten a bunch of calories. But on top of that, the other reason you're able to do that is if you're eating processed foods. Processed foods are pre-digested. They've taken all the fiber out of it. So they're soft, they're easy to chew, they're easy to swallow, easy to eat a lot of calories real fast. So if you're eating fast and you're eating processed food, good luck. Good luck. You're going to overeat most of the time, and that's going to be a problem. So again, cleaning up your diet, eating more natural whole foods, becoming a slower eater is just one of those things that pays dividends. I'm excited for people in my program. I'm actually making I'm going to make like a 15-minute slow eating hypnosis session that you listen to while you eat. So I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, becoming a slower eater is absolutely one of those. I always call it leveraged behavior, because if you can do that, and it takes effort, you have to retrain yourself basically. But if you train yourself to eat slower and that becomes the normal way you eat, then that alone could be a behavioral shift that might cut 10% of your calories out of your life. Just that alone. You know what I mean? So that's a behavior that really pays dividends, is well worth focusing on developing for sure. And you can, by the way. Just because you haven't been able to doesn't mean you can't. Any questions here? Again, they give me way too much information on this TikTok. Just show me the freaking questions. You'll scroll through everyone that's popped in or left or whatever. So funny. All right. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Jack says, thank you. This helps me so much. I'm definitely going to watch the video. Yeah, awesome, Jack. Yeah, you'll love it. Because again, so much of your weight just comes down to what you know. You know what I mean? Like I think no one has any idea, like the mindset's like such a empty, meaningless word for most people. Really, it's just like this vague idea that means nothing really. Like intuitive eating. That's another one. It's like you have an idea, you have a gist. That's what it's referred to technically. You have a gist idea what intuitive eating is or what mindset is, but you don't really know what it means. And that's a big problem. So yeah, you go watch that training. You'll have a much deeper idea. What's up, Karen? How's it going? What's up, Jody? Happy Friday. It's going to be a wine slushy day. All right, Saturday. Me too. It's my anniversary. I'm going away tonight. I'm going to a nice dinner. Oh man, I can't wait. We got a good times happening. So yeah, it'll be a pleasure day for me. So again, I promise you, I won't be dieting tonight, folks. I won't be going wild crazy either. You know what I mean? I live in the middle somewhere, on my pleasure days, but yeah, I'll be enjoying it. Wisdom says also not eating while standing. I don't believe that. I eat my breakfast standing every day. Standing, sitting, it doesn't make a difference to your weight. Just so we all know, I remember doing an interview one time and someone's like, well, you got to eat mindfully, right? And you don't have to eat mindfully. If you have your food, like if there's an amount of food that you're going to eat, whether you eat it mindfully or not makes no difference. The thing with the mindful eating is that if you have a unlimited amount of food and you're mindlessly eating, you'll eat a lot more. Okay. But if you have a set amount of food you're going to eat and then you eat it mindfully or mindlessly, it makes no difference. Your mindfulness doesn't reduce the effect of the calories you consumed, just so we know. Mindfulness definitely helps you. Again, if there's unlimited foods, it'll make you more aware so you don't overeat it. You're less likely to overeat everything. And the mindfulness is helpful in kind of clarifying how pleasurable it actually is, what the consequences are. So those things help you long-term. But in the short term, you could sit, stand, eat on your head. It doesn't matter. Food going in your mouth it doesn't matter. Okay. But again, there's how much you eat, but I eat standing every day and I'm fine, yeah, happy hours. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. Yeah. 22 years. Imagine that. 22 years. And that's just our marriage anniversary. That's what this is. But we've been together for 33 years. 33 years. Yeah. I met when we were 16. Was I 16? Yeah, it was. Almost 17. It's a long time. So yeah, it's exciting. A fun night planned. Can't wait. Let's see here. Russia says how to select right information and stay away from confusing info on food away. Yeah, for sure. That's a real challenge this day and age, the information age, right? Always thought that was going to mean like a good information, but it turns out it's all the information. So you can believe anything you want to believe at this point. It is crazy. It's a real thing. For real. You can believe anything you want. You can believe that you should just eat meat for the rest of your life. That's the way to be healthy and lose weight, Whew, it's kind of crazy, but yeah, you can believe anything. So you got to be careful. I don't know. I mean, what do you do? What do I tell you? Because you can believe anyone. You know what I mean? Like there's reputable people right across the board saying everything. There's studies backing everyone up, So it's like, it is very confusing. And part of it's intentional. The food industry is pumping all this confusion in too, because a confused mind just does the same shit. So yeah, it's hard. I mean, I will tell you my North Star that I aim at, and I've aimed at for 30 years, it's served me well, is that I look for eating whole natural foods. I reference how, the environment we evolved in, and we ate whole natural foods. And so I aim to make that the primary source of food in my diet. I still enjoy, the other stuff, but the primary source of food in my life is whole natural foods. And I think that's the cornerstone of it. And then, to go from there, good Lord. All I can say, I guess, is, just find, because I don't know, am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I'm not sitting here to defend it. I mean, it works for some people, and then other people don't really like what I'm saying, and they just go along their way. But the people that like what I'm saying, it works for me, obviously. It works for my clients. And so I'm kind of at the point now. I find, there's a lot of people on the planet. And so I don't think my way is the right way for everyone. And so finding the right information, I don't think it's just about like what is the right information as much as it is, what's the right information for me? And so I think if you start looking at it that way, I think that's probably the only way you could answer that question ever, because what works for me probably won't work for you. And so I think, at the core of your weight mastery journey, you have to honor yourself and build everything around who you are. Does this approach, does this plan, does this way of being resonate with who I am? And if it doesn't, I would move on to the next thing, because I find too many people with the weight loss, they're trying to force themselves to do things that that don't really resonate with them, and try to fit that square peg into a round hole. And I feel like that's what most dieters are doing. And I think you take a step back, you start to say, okay, what would work for me? How do I like to eat? How can I eat in a way that resonates with me and allows me to live at my weight and the health that I want to achieve? And I think that gets you there. But I get you. It's a challenge. And I've been in this field 30 years. I've been studying this shit. It's frustrating sometimes. You get such conflicting things. So I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you, but I don't. What's up, Ronnie? Hi. Does the body tend to fluctuate more in the morning? Diet culture has had me hyper fixated in the way my body always looks, and it feels discouraging. Tips on being patient without feeling panicky. Yeah, I mean, I think that all starts in Program Yourself Thin. That's really important to me because we focus on a different motivation. Listen, folks, the diet industry has conditioned you to think about weight loss superficially. And that means your motivation is superficial, right? Literally, most people want to lose weight to look better, pretty much primarily. They say health. And I know I got a question. I've had tens of thousands of people come through my thing. And I always ask myself, what's your motivation? How you look, how you feel? And it is 80% how I look. And I think the other 20% are lying. I'm joking, but let's be honest, right? Every single diet ad you've seen is always a before and after picture. They're always gearing you towards what you look like, the outside, the superficial. And so your motivation's superficial. So it usually doesn't do the job. Again, wanting to look better, you think it's enough motivation, but it's not. Looking at the results. If you're not weighing what you want, then wanting to look better is not enough motivation. It's that simple. And so I think right off the bat, dealing with that, Ronnie, is about right from the beginning, setting off on a different goal, that this isn't just about looking better. And I always say, is take your weight loss, wrap it in personal development. Make this about being the best version of you possible. Make this about being the best Ronnie you can possibly be. The best Ronnie. The Ronnie's got the most energy, who wakes up energized, clear-headed, motivated, excited, balanced mood, feeling positive. You know, this is the thing. And if we make that the primary focus, and the way we look kind of a side effect, a side benefit, secondary effect, I think you're setting yourself up for much more success. Because if all you care about is how you look, you're fucked. Because guess what? Even if you're at your exact weight you want to be at, you get older, you get gray hairs, you get less hair, you get looser skin, you get wrinkles, you get bags, you get whatever. So if all you care about is how you look, once you start approaching 50, good luck, because no matter what you do, and it's a race to the bottom, in my opinion, you know? So I think that, the answer to that question is changing the way you're approaching it, more than like, oh, I don't know. How do you feel better about yourself? Well, if all you do is judge how you look, then yeah, you're just setting yourself up to constantly have this up and down experience. So I think the answer is to take a step back and really reflect on, what is my main goal here? My main goal is not how I look. It's a goal, like it's part of it, no doubt. But my main goal is I want to live as long as I can. That's my first goal. My second goal is I want to be the best version of me possible while I'm here. And I take into account everything that's important in my life is directly related to what I'm eating day in and day out. So it's more about, like even the food I eat, it's less, I'm not eating so much the way I am to weigh what I weigh. I'm eating the way I am to nourish and fuel myself so that I can be the person I want to be. You know what I mean? So my whole mindset is I'm set up different right from the beginning than the average dieter, you know? So that's kind of how I'd answer that. And I know that's probably not the answer you want. But again, a lot of times the problems that we have are created by the wrong mindset, you know? So people ask me a question and it says, I want a simple answer, but it's like, there is no answer within that world. The whole thing's wrong. Again, I use this a lot, but it's an explanation I can think that makes sense. But it's like, if you're running east looking for a sunset, you know, and you're like, I don't know, how do I stay motivated? I keep running. I'm never going to find it. Well, yeah, you're just going the wrong direction. You're fundamentally, there's a fundamental mistake with what you're doing. And that's how I look at so many dieters, is there's that fundamental mistake. And again, it's not your fault. You've been programmed. We all been programmed by the diet industry, and they've programmed us to think completely backwards about weight and weight loss and health and all the rest of it. And so we got to free ourselves from the diet prison that we're all in, you know, and we're all in it because literally we've all been exposed to literally millions of weight loss ads in our lives. So we're all getting trapped in this thing. And the secret is to get out of there. And then once you do that, you know, now you're in the position to maybe, you know, deal with this other bullshit. And a lot of it fades away, and then you're just in a better place to deal with it. Anyways. Fred Daisy says, for me, your philosophy feels like freedom. Such a beautiful approach. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you saying that. I think it is. I mean, again, I get to do this every day, and I've been doing this for 20 years, but it just keeps getting better and better and better lately. The last 2 years have been absolutely the best 2 years of this work, without question. And even yesterday, I had a group call yesterday, and I don't know if Astrid's here, but man, it really, I love the weight loss results people get. I mean, I love that. That's one of my favorite things, but it's not my favorite thing. My favorite thing is when my clients get it's the non-weight related successes more often than not that really hit me right in the heart. And Astrid had one of those yesterday, and literally, I just got a choke. I was like, man, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. You probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it's like, there's so much more to this than just like what you look like. Do you know what I mean? And so, for Astrid, and we've known this too. And I love Astrid because Astrid's like committed on a level that far exceeds any dieters. And, that's, I don't know. I love my clients so much. I really do. And, anyways, but it's so much more than just the weight piece. You know what I mean? It really is, because like the way you're eating is literally, you don't think about food almost like what you're drinking, right? You can drink water, you can drink coffee, you can drink tea, or you can drink alcohol. And I'm not against alcohol. I drink alcohol. So this isn't a judgment thing, but if you drink lots of alcohol, right? If you start drinking alcohol in the morning, you start drinking alcohol during the day, yeah, maybe you would start to, your skin might look a little different. You might put some weight on. Maybe that would happen. But like, if all of a sudden you start drinking all the time or doing drugs all the time, you wouldn't, I hope, right? You don't think of like those things, like drinking all the time. Your first response isn't like, oh, what would I'd be puffy. I'd start gaining weight. Like, that's not your first reaction. If I say, oh, what would happen if you start drinking all the time? Your first thing is, oh, I'd start gaining weight. I'd start looking bigger. Right? Your first instinct when you say, oh, if I start drinking all the time, oh my God, I'd be exhausted. I'd be tired. I'd be moody. I'd be falling asleep. I'd be hungover. Right? Now, when it comes to the food though, how do you think about the food? You don't even think about the effect that food has. Like, oh, I'm going to eat a donut. So I'm going to eat a couple donuts. I'm going to eat 3 donuts. So I eat 3 donuts. Oh shit, I'm going to get fat. That's what you think. You disassociate from what the fuck, what do you think those donuts are doing? Right? You go do 3 shots of vodka. You're not thinking, oh, this is going to affect my weight. It's going to make me look tired or make me look sleepy. You think I'm going to be sleepy. I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be exhausted. I'm going to feel depressed. I'm going to feel whatever. When the food though, you don't internalize what it's doing to you right away. It's a substance just like the alcohol. And as soon as you eat 3 donuts, 2 donuts, a donut, all of a sudden, yeah, you're going to get a little spike of pleasure. And then here comes the crash. And you've been conditioned to not recognize that crash. And you're living your day to day because of what you're eating. You're living just like if you're drinking all day, you'd be hungover all day. And you're hungover all day from the foods you're eating if you're eating a lot of processed foods. And you do not think of it that way. You think of it as, oh, I don't want to gain weight. I don't want to look different. Fuck looking different. You're depleted. You're diminishing who you are as a person. You know what I mean? Like that's the story I'm on, and what I mean by that, taking that further is, again, it's the weight and the food and the obsession with the food. It gets you feeling bad about yourself. It makes you feel negative emotions all day long. And then physically you're more tired, you're more exhausted, you're lethargic, you're fatigued, you're sore, you're uncomfortable, but a lot of times we don't think of it that way. And that's a weird thing, but anyways, yeah, this is free. I'm glad you said that. Sam and Booze, I agree. Just joined you, and already I feel better at approaching 60. All right, that's great. That's great. Make sure you get my hypnosis session too. Again, everyone, I always remind you guys to do this because I give you guys all sorts of free stuff. So I have a program. You can join that too, and it'll be a smart decision. But even the free stuff, go listen to the hypnosis session. Go watch the video though, because again, it's a different paradigm, and it will teach you a lot. It'll illuminate a lot of the weight things that you're just not thinking about, and I think that's really helpful. Yeah, because it's Declaration of Independence and Emancipation Proclamation too. Yeah, let's see. It's a Maite Lors, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing that one right. That your username takes me on a journey. Like first I think it's gonna be Mai Tai, but it's Maite Lor. It says, am I the only one who feels hungry after drinking a lot of water? Interesting. It depends. Like you can't just look at, this is a very important concept too, is we have to zoom out and look at things with a bigger perspective. So you say, oh, am I the only one who feels hungry after drinking a lot of water? Well, that's like, we're zooming in with that. Okay. Yeah. You drank a lot of water, but what did you eat before that? How'd you sleep the night before? How are your emotions? You know what I mean? What are you eating typically? What are you eating afterwards? So there's a lot more context that really needs to be known before I can make sense of that, So, I drink a lot of water in the morning, but before that I eat, Ezekiel bread, natural peanut butter, an apple and peanut butter. And then I drink a bunch of water. I'm not hungry, So again, it depends what we're doing. If all I'm doing is drinking water, you know what I mean? If I just stop eating everything and all I do is drink water, then yeah, I'm going to feel hungry after I do it. So, you know what I mean? Like you need to know that part. Girl devouring. What do you think of cheat days? I think cheat days, as framed as cheat days, is a terrible idea. And I always joke, call them adultery days. Why don't you be an adulterer? Go be an adulterer and lose weight. And I joke because no one wants to be a cheater. A cheater's not a positive thing. Cheating isn't a good thing. I don't give a shit. I know. Oh, I don't mean that. Yeah, it's a word that doesn't elicit a lot of positive stuff. And so, and program yourself, then we don't have cheat days. We have pleasure days. And it's very intentional for a lot of reasons. So I don't like cheat days. I do like pleasure days. I think they're absolutely crucial because, again, I'm not talking about weight loss here. I'm talking about weight mastery. And if you're going to live at your goal weight for the rest of your life, you have got to figure out how you're going to interface with the foods that bring you pleasure, because you're not going to avoid them forever. All right. Just so you know, you're not going to live the rest of your life not eating food you enjoy eating. That's not going to happen. And that's one of the big challenges you have as a dieter. Those of you who have lost weight and put it back on, this is one of the main reasons why. If you believe that in order for me to control my weight, I can never eat foods that give me pleasure again, it's really just an endurance test. Let's see how long I can go. But you're always going to eat foods that bring you pleasure eventually. So instead of thinking you're never going to, you can't eat your pleasure foods in order to lose weight, instead I'd rather ask the question, how can I eat my pleasure foods and weigh what I want? And you start going about figuring out, how can I eat in a moderated way where I can still eat my food and have my body, and that's where it starts with. Mama Bear Blue says, wow, that really makes sense to me. Like a switch in my brain. I'm glad. That's what I'm looking to do. I am doing that. I am a hypnotist, and a very well paid one. I'm one of the highest paid hypnotists on the planet, just so you all know, like literally. And, so when I'm doing these podcasts, and when I'm speaking to you, I am not just saying things to you. I'm saying them in a way that may just flip a switch in your brain that causes you to naturally and effortlessly begin to make healthier food choices while you enjoy it the whole time. That's why you should go listen to the hypnosis session, because the hypnosis session is, I don't know, like you don't know hypnosis. I promise you don't know hypnosis. You know how I know that? Because I know most hypnotists don't understand what hypnosis is. I hate to say it. I don't want to throw them under the bus, but it's just true. Hypnosis is a funny thing. And, it's really powerful, though. You should really understand it. It's very, very powerful. Is it enough by itself to make you lose weight? I don't think so. I think that the hypnosis I offer is a very, very, very powerful support system. But at the end of the day, I think ultimately for you to master your weight, you have to understand how to hypnotize yourself, because you're already hypnotizing yourself, just so you know. You've got this little voice in your head, your internal dialogue. You're always talking to yourself. And that voice is literally controlling your weight. And so when I work with people, my clients, I kind of help you in 3 different ways. But one of the main ways I help you is helping you to recognize this voice in your head first, develop the awareness, and then how do I create a new, more empowering, supportive voice? Oh my God, my dog. I got a senile. I've got a senile Boston Terrier dog. And I don't think she sees well, and she just barks at anything. She'll see a shadow and she will just sit in front of it barking at it for 20 minutes. She did it to me last night. I walked in the house and she stood 10 feet away from me just barking at me. So she's losing her head. She's just blind and she's barking and it drives me nuts. Anyways, Spider Lily, how's it going? Water actually does make you feel hungrier. When you drive fast, you're not hungry at all. That's so funny. That is funny to me. I will tell you, and I don't want to talk about this too much because TikTok will absolutely ban me if I say this. But if you're trying to lose weight by just drinking this, I think you should not do that. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. And the only thing dumber than just trying to lose weight by just drinking this is to stop drinking this because this makes you hungry. So now you're going to do the old DRY. FAST. And that's the only thing that's stupider than the water one. Oh, no, it's not stupid, Jim. I lost a bunch of weight. Yeah, for how long? How the fuck long are you not going to eat for? It's the height. I will tell you, that's the absolute height of diet thinking. You couldn't be any more trash. The Alcatraz of diet thinking. Because I think you're all in a diet prison. You're in a mental prison in your mind, put there by the diet industry. And I think the most maximum security diet prison that you can be in is when you think that you're going to DRY FAST. To what? To what? to lose weight for what? A week? 2 weeks? Oh, you're really good at not eating, so you can go a month? It's the most short-sighted, short-term thing that a person can do. And it's the exact 180-degree opposite of what I'm talking about. So yeah. So the answer, by the way, when this makes you when this makes you hungry, when you're not gonna eat anything and this is making you hungry, yeah, the solution, I guess, would be just to stop doing this. That's the problem. Mama Bear says, where can we see your videos? TikTok, you can see I put a bunch of videos up there. I've been a little lax lately. I take a little mental health break from them, but I put them up all the time. So you can check it out. And there's just literally shit. How many videos do I have up there? It's probably, I bet it's close to 1,000. I bet I've made close to 1,000 of these. But the big video you want to see, go to my bio, click the link, get the hypnosis session I give you, and then watch the video I bring you to. That's the video. It's 20 minutes or so, but that's the video I'd suggest you watch, because that's kind of like everything I'm talking about, I kind of put into one spot, A to Z. I think it makes the most sense to watch that. But then the TikTok videos are great. I've got so many videos, like I do have, I've been doing this program for 20 years. I literally have thousands of videos, literally. Up on there. Yeah, Varsha says Instagram. Instagram, you can see a bunch of them. I start posting there, but Instagram's kind of newer. I've only been on Instagram for what? I don't know. I don't know how long. I've been on it for a while, but I've only really been posting it consistently for a couple months. But TikTok has a lot of stuff. Instagram has a lot of those videos. I have some videos on YouTube too, actually. No, I put those on YouTube as well. I forget. I don't do it. I just forget. I never know. And if you join the program, all the videos are on the membership site. My title life. Okay, I'll read more about that. That's so funny to me. Yeah, go read about how not drinking any water when you're not eating is the good way. Can you offer tools to keep from sabotaging myself after I lose 3 to 4 pounds? I mean, it's not really so much the tools I offer you as much as like a mindset I can offer you. Really, because what happens is, again, I'll give you a reason why you guys all lose motivation after you lose a couple pounds, because that's a common thing. Okay. And here's why. And again, the only way to understand, we gotta take a step back. We gotta look at things. We gotta, we can't just be, oh, why am I lose? We gotta take a step back, calm down. Let's look at it. But let me say, does this sound familiar to anyone? That usually what precedes your diet, what precedes you losing 3 or 4 pounds is usually what I refer to as the spontaneous pain-based motivation. And so you step on the scale, you see a picture of yourself, your clothes don't fit all of a sudden. Someone says something shitty to you. You catch your reflection. You got to go to the doctors, or you just went to the doctors. And now you're really upset about your weight. It's acute, right? You're face to face with it. You're really upset. Now you're really emotional and a lot of pain. And you say, that's it. I have got to do this. And then you start whatever dumb plan you're going to do, and you start doing it. And so in that situation, all of your motivation is based on pain, right? You're in a heightened pain state because of that thing that happened. Okay. And so now what happens is you go on your plan, you start doing it, and now you drop 3, 4 pounds. So what happens to the pain when you drop 3 or 4 pounds? Well, the pain recedes a little bit. Okay. And on top of that, you're a little further away from that pain thing that happened, that triggered in the first place. So now you get a little distance from that, and now you lost 3 or 4 pounds. So now you're in less pain. You're a little happy. But what happens to your motivation now? Right? Because your motivation as a dieter, your motivation truly is based on pain, which is why you're always so mean to yourself. Okay. And so as soon as the pain starts going down, the motivation starts going down. So what's the tool to fix that? Well, the tool to fix that is you got to have a different reference point. Again, in program yourself then, and that's the very first thing you do in the mindset section is motivation, because you all don't know how to motivate yourself. I think you dieters really ought to reflect on that. You dieters really, truly do not know how to motivate yourself. If you did, you'd be losing weight. You weigh what you want to weigh. And you don't really want to lose weight. You wish you'd lose weight. You fantasize about it all the time, but you don't really want to. You want to keep eating and living the way you're living. That's the want, and that's what you do. And your want to lose weight is here. You wish you'd lose weight. Your wish to lose weight is off the charts. Okay, no doubt about that. So the first thing you got to do, you ain't even motivated. That's one of the biggest bullshitters that dieters really think that they're super motivated. And that's the biggest bullshit. That's number one bullshit I see with dieters. You're not really motivated. And you can't be really motivated because you want to look better. You tap into more. But so anyways, in Program Yourself, I will give you the shortcut to that is we use pain and pleasure strategically. And so we use pain. It's definitely there, but pain's not enough of a motivator. We also need pleasure. And that's where things start to change. And so I guess if you won't understand what this means, but I'll tell it to you anyways. So the real secret to get past, if you get in that phase where you start losing weight, and it may be 3 pounds for you, it may be 10 pounds, maybe 20 pounds. But if you start losing weight, then all of a sudden you feel like all the motivation starts disappearing and you get off track. A big part of that is because of what I just said. You're pain-based and the pain starts to recede as you start to get results. And so the solution to that is to use pain, but to also primarily use pleasure. And the pleasure is I feel so much better when I eat well. I'm feeling amazing. I feel incredible. I want to be healthier. I want to look better. I want to be better. I want to be a better version of myself. Holy shit, I went to bed. I ate great today. I went to bed. I feel elated. I feel excited. I feel happy. I can't wait to wake up tomorrow. And we start to really, and you have to do this to yourself. You have to condition yourself because no one's doing this for you. But for me, my primary motivation, yes, I have pain, okay, that I use, but I really live in the pleasure of eating the way I eat, looking the way I look, feeling the way I feel, being the person I want to be. Like, I love it. I love it. I love eating the way I love all of it. And so it's not about me getting results and now the pain disappears. I just want more and more pleasure. And in my mind, the pleasure is I get more pleasure the better I eat. I get more pleasure the better I live. I get more pleasure the better results I get. You see? And I'm obsessed with that, and I'm addicted to it, literally addicted to it. And that works with your brain because your brain's a pleasure-seeking mechanism. You know, that's why you're struggling with the food, because you associate pleasure to the food and pain to not getting it. And so, you know, again, the food motivation you have really reveals how motivation works in reality, that our brain wants what it wants. It wants more pleasure. And ironically, this is what the diet industry, the biggest trick they've done to you is they've subconsciously caused you to associate pain to weight loss. When you think about losing weight, your first reaction is pain, not pleasure. So I know what I'm saying probably doesn't mean a whole lot until you know, if you go through my program, again, we go through that and there's a lot more detail, but that's, I hope you got something out of that. What's up, E? How's it going? I think drinking water too fast does flush electrolytes. I do approximately 2 hours, 1 liter. Yeah, drinking slower is better. I hope you all know that. I do guzzle water sometimes, but drinking it is just better for everything. Of course, eating it's better than all of it. eating your hydration is the best water. But anyways, Spider Lily says fasting isn't for losing weight though. It's for repairing your body to cellular level. Yeah, sure. That's fine. I mean, if that's what you're doing it for, that, yeah, that's a whole different thing. So I wouldn't speak to that, but, it's, yeah, there's lots of reasons for fasting. And so I'm not against, what do I give a shit? If someone wants to fast to restore their cellular level functions and all that stuff, I don't know anything about that. You know, I do know I did a lot of that stuff. I did a lot of fasting. I'll give you an alternate perspective just based on my anecdotal experience, but I don't fast anymore. I intermittent fast, you know, at night, 12, 13 hours typically. It's what I call it. I always joke. Intermittent fasting, please, I'm on my tail if I say that, right? But so anyways, but I had done long-term fasts and I found for myself they were very harmful. And believe me, I was in it. I was cellular fixing myself up. I was detoxing. I'm a yoga instructor. You know what I mean? I was a raw foodist. So I know I was in that world. But my actual experience of it was that I would dread it as it was coming forward. And then when I was doing it, I felt like shit, physically, mentally, and emotionally. I was tired. It was, I don't know, it was stressful. And then afterwards I was obsessed with food for a while. So again, I go back to the idea that there's no right or wrongs. There's really just what works for you. And if you build whatever you're going to do around who you are as a person and your likes and dislikes and how it resonates with you, I think that's what will put you on a path that you can't, like, you're guaranteed success in that way, you know. But Rush says, great point of view. Thank you. Pain. They always say no pain, no gain. Also very commonly quoted, pain is weakness leaving the body. Yeah. Fuck that. I do not believe that at all, but that's me. I'm not David Goggins. I like to be like a counterpoint to David Goggins in the world. That's kind of my goal in life, you know, and I have nothing against him. But this is my thing. Like I love that there's a David Goggins in the world. I wouldn't want it to just be me. you know, because there's a lot of people looking like, oh, you're full of shit, dude. I don't like this at all. Well, great. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people in the world. Different people like different things. But I think when it comes to weight loss and fitness, holy shit, we'll talk about a one-note song. You know what I mean? Oh my God. It's just this, because it's all David Goggins-esque. Jillian Michael, like, just, come on, do it. Come on, just pain. We love pain. I don't love pain. And every time I fight through the pain, I hurt myself more. So it's like, I've found that pain is pain and injury entering the body, you know, and that's been my experience. And so, and I know too, and I've even done it in a yoga perspective, because that's a big Ashtanga. Patabi Joyce used to always say that pain is weakness leaving the body. And I was like, well, not so much for me. I'm going to agree to disagree on this one. I don't want to feel a lot of pain. For me, it's always led to injury. So I think sometimes quotes are fucking stupid, and we just believe them because they're quotes and they said them. There's Astrid. Astrid says, hi, Jim. I want to thank you for all that you did for me and still do. Oh, thank you, Astrid. It's a pleasure. And yesterday was just a high point. I would say yesterday with you, Astrid, to me, that was like you telling me, like, oh, I stepped on the scale and I'm 20 pounds down. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that was as impactful to me as if you had got on and said, oh, I just lost 50 pounds, you know, this week or whatever. Like that whole story to me was just like, I will always remember that. I think that was beautiful. I'm so proud of you. I mean, that really made me so happy. So great job with that. I think Laura says, no, of course I'm eating. That's not what I meant. No, I got you. I never know what people think on this. You have to understand. I get trolls, I get dipshits, I get people that think crazy stuff. So I never know when people are joking or mean something or whatever. But anyways, what's up, Mario? I'm so late to the party. I know, and I'm about to get out of here. I got stuff I got to do. Jonathan Water, I fucked up today. The Doom Brothers. That's what I call you two, Mario and Jonathan. I don't know. Mario, you would never know. Mario's a catastrophic thinker. This guy, he's losing weight left and right, but he feels like he's just can't internalize that, you know. But what'd you do, Jonathan? What happened? Mario would say I was a big back. You're a big back in it today, Jonathan? Oh, you hate myself now. Why can't I just not binge? Don't hate yourself. Hate yourself if you want to binge again. Okay. But if you want to not binge and you want to get your weight under control and your health under control, don't with the hate, because we can't hate ourselves healthy. You know, the hating just leads to more bullshit. All right. We always make the best choice available. Jonathan, you made the best choice available to you. All right. And I know you don't like that, but I'm telling you did, because I know you don't want to binge. I know that. So what you do is you use this opportunity to go back 6 seconds before you started the binge. What was going on? Where was your hunger at? Where were you at emotionally? And where were you at with your habits in terms of the binge? Okay. Understand that stuff. Don't hate, seek to understand yourself. Okay. That's the path to the promised land. Okay. The hate's not. The hate is, not to get all, I don't even know, not to get all religious on you, but it's like the hate is like the devil in disguise. You know what I mean? Like it's a trick. Don't go down the hate path. It's bullshit. Okay. It is not the path to freedom. We've been conditioned to do that. Again, that's why I don't like the pain stuff. I don't like the diet mindset. It's bullshit on the sneak, because I'm a hypnotist. I know, I know sneaky communication patterns. All right. This is one thing I know. And the diets, I believe a lot of it is very intentional to keep you sabotaged, and the hating yourself is a big part of that. Okay. So Jonathan, what I want you to practice is loving yourself. Okay. Imagine that you had a friend that you really cared about. Imagine it was your fiance. Okay. And imagine that, they did something that they were hating themselves for. Would you be like, yeah, you should hate yourself? That was really bad. You should fucking hate yourself. Would you say that to him? Or would you say, come on, you know what I mean? You should love yourself. So do that same shit to yourself. Okay. Which is one of my favorite tactics, by the way, especially for perfectionist type people, is that, is for perfectionist people, I think one of the greatest things you can do for yourself is to imagine that you were speaking to a friend that you really cared about, who's in the exact same situation that you find yourself in. And that's such a fun technique, because instantly you think differently about it. Like instantly you're not as hard on them. You're not as critical. You're not as judgmental. All right. And so I think it's important that you start to treat yourself that way. And again, I know you think like being hard on yourself and hating yourself is going to help you in some weird way. I know, I get it, because it's that parent voice in your head. It's the disciplinarian voice in your head, but it just doesn't work. If it did, I would tell you to hate yourself. Believe me. Okay. I'm not saying this because I'm a nice person. I'm saying because it's not effective. All right. Uh, yeah, they lost the Doom Brothers. You guys know what I'm saying. We're all joking with that. Can you hypnotize me to not hate myself? Could I hypnotize you to not hate yourself? I don't think so. I could create a session that may help with it. I could coach you to not hate yourself, no problem, using some hypnosis techniques. But I know, Jim, I'm trying so hard to trust me. I wouldn't necessarily trust yourself either. I wouldn't trust yourself. You know what I mean? Don't take it that far. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. I'm saying love yourself. Don't trust yourself. Please understand what I'm saying. I wouldn't trust yourself either. Okay. You understand? Oh no. Oh boy, Jonathan. There we go. Jonathan, he just revealed why. Okay. Why? Right. Jonathan goes, I was trying to juice cleanse and I was doing amazing for 2 days. All right. So come on, Jonathan. Did you learn nothing here? I don't care. This is what we got to do. Again, this is part of the process. We all take a different route here. And it's all about gaining awareness, but a juice cleanse. You're trying to repair your cells. And on the third day, it all went downhill. What do you know? What a surprise. I joke with you, Jonathan. I laugh because, come on, you know what I mean? What are we going to do? Get all upset about this? If you get upset, again, if getting upset worked and hating yourself worked, I'd say, listen, yeah, you fucking jerk, you fucking moron, you're the stupidest. That's what I would be doing, but it just doesn't work, So when you hate yourself and you get all stressed and whatever, your brain just literally shuts off. I mean, literally, and you don't see things accurately and you just go in this downward spiral for no good reason, So, I mean, I hope what you can pull out of this, and I know you're in it now, but what you can pull out of it is, again, you use the perfect binge eating strategy. It's literally the number one binge eating strategy is to over restrict so that you're so hungry you can't control your eating. So congratulations, you did it again. And that's where the awareness comes, Jonathan. Do it 20 more times. Maybe you need to do it 20 more times, but at some point it's going to sink in. Yeah, if I want to binge, I got to do some dumb shit before that. Like doing a juice fast. Especially for you, Jonathan. Like, you're going from eating like shit to a juice fast is just the fucking dumbest, guys. Okay? When you say it all out loud, I sound so stupid. You don't sound stupid. You know what I mean? It's a stupid thing, but you're not stupid, right? You know what I mean? Like things can be stupid and we do them, but it doesn't make us stupid. I do stupid shit all the time. I'm not stupid. I just do stupid shit, and you're no different and I'm no different. No one's different. So, but my point is to make it, I want to hold up the strategy is that's a fucking dumb. It's dumb. And I say this to all you dieters because you're all doing this in some level. Yeah, a 2-day juice fast is extra stupid, honestly. Now, I'm not saying is it stupid for a yogi who's like a real clean eater? Well, that's a different story, maybe. Although they probably wouldn't do a juice fast anyways. But Jonathan is not anywhere near that. Jonathan's out of control with the eating to some degree. Doesn't eat real clean. Wants to lose a bunch of weight. And so he's diving into this, you know what I mean? Like, you're going from level 1 to level 100. And so, yeah, anytime you do that in anything, I use it metaphorically, right? Okay. Let's just say you never ran a marathon before. You say, you know what? I want to start running marathons. So to train for it, you start running 2 times a marathon each day. You know what I mean? Like that's what a dieter does. Or again, we put it a different way. I never played piano. I really want to play piano. So I'm going to start practicing 10 hours a day. Again, sounds great on paper. But in the reality is you wake up the second day, if you got through the first day even, your fingers are cramped and you hate the piano and you can't get yourself to play it again. And that's what you're doing with the juice fast thing, Why do I keep trusting myself to do these diets? Well, that I don't know. Well, that I don't know. But that's why I say you shouldn't trust yourself, right? I said love yourself, don't trust yourself. Because I told you this yesterday, Jonathan. I literally said this yesterday to you. And I think it's funny that you didn't mention the juice fast to me. I think that's funny, but it's instructive. But I said to Jonathan yesterday, I said, and I don't know if you know Seinfeld, but I was talking about in Seinfeld, they had George Costanza, that character. But in one of the episodes, he goes, everything I do is wrong. He goes, I'm going to do the opposite of everything I think. And everything starts going good. And I told Jonathan, I said yesterday, I said, your intuitions are all fucked up. I said, you should just start doing the opposite of everything you think. And then, I didn't know he's right in the middle of a juice fast, which he failed to mention. Oh, Jonathan, he goes, I was so excited because I lost 2 pounds in those days. And now I gained 4 pounds from the binge. I mean, again, all you need to do right now is just open your eyes and realize this, look at it and remember it and see what happens. And this is a big lesson for everyone right here. Jonathan did something stupid. Nothing wrong with doing something stupid. Okay. The problem is Jonathan did something stupid and then what? Blamed himself. That's the problem, dieters. Can you see this? We're starting to get a little pattern going on here in these lives, aren't we? For those of you that follow along, I meant to tell you, I'm talking about these freaking Post-it notes. I finally said to myself, you know what? I found out where they were. I'm like, I'm going to go get them. And I said, you know what? Maybe I'm going to look for them first. I go and look on the shelf that was 6 feet away from me. And they were right there. Still got 2 left. So talk about doing stupid things. We all do stupid things, The secret is not to blame ourselves for it. It's to blame the strategy. That's what I'm trying to tell you, dieters. You dieters personalize everything. And you dieters are walking around. Oh, I just found out these aren't the right ones. Just when I thought I was in the clear. These are the ones I use, and look how little these are. Now I'm back on it again. Just when I thought I'd fixed it. This is a funny saga. All right. So, but do you all see that, dieters? Jonathan did something stupid, but then he blames himself for not following the stupid thing. He does something stupid and then blames himself for the stupid thing not working. Instead of being like, I did something stupid, I don't want to do that again. That doesn't work. The thing was stupid. I'm not stupid. I thought it was going to work. That's why I did it. Now I realize that doesn't work. It leads me to binge again. Just like the last time I did that thing, that led me to binge. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. When I over-restrict, I overeat. Maybe I'll stop over-restricting. So I was embarrassed to tell you yesterday. I know your thoughts about these juice fasts. I'm so thankful for you. You have no idea. No, I appreciate that, Jonathan. I know you are. And I'm thankful for you because you are helping a lot of people. So this is literally why I do this. You know what I mean? I want to lay bare. This is literally my mission in life, is to help as many people as possible live their goal weight. This is why I do this for free. I'm happy to talk to any of you because I know I'm telling you, you're suffering in a prison of your own making. Weight loss is way easier than you think it is. And I don't say that lightly. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying it's way easier than you think it is. The core reason you're struggling more than anything else is your mindset's all fucked up because you think like a dieter. And I appreciate you so much, Jonathan, because you put that on display. And it's not a you thing. I'm telling you, every dieter's like you. So no dieters. If you're a dieter, you better not be laughing at Jonathan. You better not be thinking Jonathan's doing dumb shit. You better not. Because if you're a dieter and you're not at the weight you want to be at, you better shut the fuck up. You better not be thinking that Jonathan's stupid because you're doing the same dumb shit. It may not seem as intense, but keto, you think keto is any different than a juice fast? You think doing 1,200 calories a day is any different? You think tracking every calorie for the rest of your life is any different? It's not. It's not. So I appreciate you, Jonathan, because you put it front and center. And I think we all learn from that because sometimes it takes extreme things to see something that's so ridiculous. And again, if you want to do fast for different reasons, someone said, cellular regeneration or detoxing, which is kind of bullshit. But if you want to do it for different reasons, spiritual reasons, I'm not talking to that. I'm talking about when it comes to your weight, these are fucking dumb reasons because you have to zoom in, right? The only way Jonathan could, justify this fast, he zoom in. Oh my God, I lost 2 pounds. I lost 2 pounds today. But then you zoom out and you're like, how long can I do this for? And that's what dieters never want to think or hear about, So again, Jonathan, it's the awareness that's the secret here. It's paying attention to, because if you stop judging things, if we just look at things as cause and effect, it's very clarifying. And so I would say okay, Jonathan, imagine I was going to fill in for you for the day and I wanted to set myself up to binge. How can I do that? Right? How can I set myself up so I'm binging tonight or tomorrow? And I said, what would you tell me? I said, I probably don't eat anything. Don't eat anything. Get yourself really, really hungry. Try and exercise. Maybe, try and move a lot. Think about it a lot. Weigh yourself multiple times, So when you start thinking about how did I create the binge? It's very instructive because you're all creating the binge. It's not just happening out of the sky. And that's what's so fascinating with my clients is they feel like, oh my God, how'd this happen? How did it happen? Why'd I binge? I get that all the time. Why'd I binge? Because remember this, a lot of times where the problem shows up is not where the problem was created. So Jonathan shows up, oh my God, I'm fucking so mad at him. I hate myself for binging. I hate myself for binging. I'm focused right here. Now I know right away, well, how'd you get there? That's what if you ever listen to this, it's always the same thing. Oh, I hate myself for binging. How do we get to the binge? How did you create the binge? Well, that's a great strategy, Jonathan, to create a binge. You hear this, folks? That's great strategy to overeat is to not eat beforehand. Get yourself really hungry is probably the number one strategy to binge. And you did it perfectly, Jonathan. Now, I'm joking with you, but I'm reframing things in a unique way. And again, I don't know how long you'll keep showing up to just these. If you got the program, obviously you'd move quicker, but even if you just show up for this, at some point it's going to sink into your head that over restricting and doing this goofy shit, it just doesn't work. And so once that does internalize and you create that connection, you won't be tempted to do that dumb shit. You'll do other dumb shit. Don't get me wrong. There's a whole path of dumb shit awaiting you. But you'll get past that one, you know? Lindsay says, having problems with hunger during half of my female cycle, feeling hormones taking over. Yeah, Lindsay, that's for real too. And I always say that to my, to the women, you've got to, the dealing with that, you've got to take that into account. You know, that's a little bit what I was talking about in the beginning. I was talking about the ebbs and flows of life, but literally for women, there's ebbs and flows of life each month, and they're going to affect you. So instead of like being like, okay, this month I'm going to eat perfectly, I'm not going to let my period affect it. No, let's take into account, okay, here I start to get tired. Here I start to get hungrier. Here I get, whatever. I don't sleep as well. Whatever might happen, start to notice the patterns and the routines of that cycle. Okay. So that then you can strategize for it, because a lot of times I find one of the biggest mistakes dieters make is they don't accept reality for what it is. And they say, no matter what reality is, I'm going to be perfect. And it's like, it doesn't work that way. So what works a lot better is to acknowledge and accept how things go. Oh shit, sometimes I'm hungrier here. Sometimes I need to eat a little more, but then you can strategize. Okay, when I get a little hungry here, what can I eat? And now you can strategize to eat a little more, but it's way healthier as opposed to, I'm going to eat perfect the whole time. And then the dam breaks. Now you're eating a bunch of bullshit. So, that's how I would suggest looking at that. Jonathan said, I thought I was going to come here after the 5-day fast and tell you about how disciplined I was. I will tell you, Jonathan, if you came here and you said, I just finished a 5-day fast, I would have said, okay, let me know how next week goes. That's what I would have said to you. I'm not, again, that level of discipline is fucking goofy. Do you see what I'm saying? This is the perfect example too of, we had some of the Moses was on here talking about being like carnivore, being keto, pretty much any diet, the discipline's off the charts, but it's unsustainable and it's unnecessary. This is what I'm always fucking telling you guys. Weight mastery is way easier than weight loss because weight loss is all about how fast can I lose the weight. And the only way you can lose weight quickly, the fastest way to lose weight is the most extreme way to lose weight, right? They're one and the same. And so the faster you lose weight, the more extreme it is and the less sustainable it's going to be. And so weight mastery is really about how can I live at my goal weight forever? So it takes a lot less discipline. And on top of that, let's just say you want to use the same amount of discipline though. I would way rather, and so let me talk about my discipline because I'm extremely disciplined. My discipline is built around, I use my discipline to get myself to meditate every day. And sometimes that means a half hour, 40 minutes of meditation. Sometimes it means it's 2 to 5 minutes of meditation, but I want to do it every day. My discipline is let me make sure I drink at least one of these a day. Okay. My discipline is let me make sure I'm getting enough sleep at night. Let me make sure I'm getting some fresh food in my body. You know what I mean? Like I'm taking bite-sized things and I'm focusing on discipline that's built for the long term. I'm focusing on my habits, basically. I'm not going to focus on just burning through all of my discipline in 5 days. You know what I mean? It's not a good strategy. It's stupid. That strategy is stupid, Jonathan. You're not stupid. Okay. So it's just a dumb strategy because you're just burning through everything. You're burning through all your discipline. And you could use, again, in investing, there's a concept called return on investment. And so when we think about what's the biggest return on your investment of discipline, right? So where do you get the most value for your disciplined dollars? Think of it that way. And just burning it all through a 5-day fast. Because what do you do on the 6th day? You've none of that stuff you've done during the 5 days translates into the 6th day. You haven't worked on any habits. Nothing during those 5 days carries over into the rest of the time. Oh, because you start the 6th day and you're down 5-6 pounds or whatever. Who gives a shit? Your weight is a reflection of your behaviors. So it's about changing your behaviors long-term, not short-term, And so I would rather spend my discipline dollars on habits. And that's what I've done. So that all the things I tell you about, by the way, I worked on them one at a time. It took me a long time to get the water habit down. That was my hardest habit, was drinking water every day, but I dedicated myself to it. I focused on it. I consistently worked on it. And now it runs pretty much on autopilot. My meditation habit never runs on autopilot. Like a lot of these things now kind of run on autopilot because I systematically and strategically worked on them. And you know what it's like? You all brush your teeth at the same times every day, pretty much on autopilot, because you were trained to do that. That's a strategic, smart, disciplined way to do something intelligent. And burning all your discipline out through doing crazy shit. And this is what you all do as dieters. You just blast through your willpower, blast through your discipline, and then you have none left. And then you just fall back into what you always do. Star says, how about when depression hit? When I get depressed, I don't care anymore about the food. Yeah, no, I get that. Oh, how about when depression hits? Yeah. When I get depressed, I don't care anymore about the food. No, I totally get that. And that happens. But to that point, and again, depression, I don't want to overstate this, because depression's obviously it's a whole thing. And so, it depends where you're at in the whole depression spectrum, but I'll say mild depression. I'm going to talk about that. When you get mildly depressed and then you just don't give a shit about the food, I think the answer to that is to realize, and it's the same with all the emotional eating, that the emotional eating is really a symptom of a deeper problem. So if the depression's there, mild, again, I'm talking mild. When you get mildly depressed, what we want to start to realize is, the food, I'm using the food to deal with the depression. And you come to a point, again, not in the moment, but afterward, you look at it and say, I don't want to use food to deal with depression. It's not really fixing it. I want to actually feel happier, more content, more satisfied, and so you look to really resolve the core problem. And I hope that makes some sense. Oops. Yep, Master goes. Nice weekend. All right, everyone. Thanks so much, everyone. Again, super duper job today. So I hope Kalispera. I know. How does I say? Thank you. I don't speak too much Greek. I know a couple words. Jonathan, thanks so much. You're amazing. Well, thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate that. And again, just bounce back, and you're a better version of yourself now, dude. It's the same. There's no difference now. This whole thing, there's no difference between this and the chicken thing. There's no difference between this and the oatmeal, and the cereal thing you've been going through. It's just the yogurt thing. It's no difference, dude. It's a journey to the light. You know what I mean? You're in the darkness in terms of like how you think about things. It's just a lot of your thinking is just wrong. Okay. So it's not a big deal. It's like that. Anything you start learning, you're either wrong or just don't know. And so the process from getting, to a state of ignorance to a place of enlightenment is working through those. So again, the fact that you're here, the fact that you're talking about it, you're better off now than you were last week when you thought juice fasting would be the answer. You just see what I'm saying? So again, I see this as a great step forward. And I'm not blowing smoke up here. I don't just say this. I genuinely, truly feel this way. I feel like you're better off now than you were last week, because now you got one more kind of dumb idea. That's stupid. That doesn't work. You know what I mean? You genuinely know that. And so eventually you get to the point where you work through most of those, and then you're just kind of like in the real world now, Oh, good. You've actually helped me with how angry I was at myself. No, I get that, because you know why? The brain gives up pain for learning. That's why I say mistakes are our greatest teachers. If we learn from them, the anger and the pain fades away because we learned something. We love learning new things. And as soon as we learn something new, the pain disappears because we learned something, we grew, we evolved. So great job, Jonathan. Again, very big deal. And these are the wins, by the way. These are the wins that you're achieving. The chicken, the yogurt, the cereals, the fast. These are the wins you're achieving that really set you up for real ultimate weight loss success. Okay. So again, sometimes we have to do a lot of there's inner wins that precede the weight loss wins. So I hope you realize that. Okay. So I'm really proud of you. And thanks for the rose. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Again, if you're not in my world, go to my bio, click the link, get the hypnosis session I give you. It's free. Okay. 10-minute session, New Thin Me, weight loss kickstart session. Holy shit. Could it change everything for you? Could you start losing weight immediately right after you listen to it? You won't know unless you try it. And then go watch the video I made for you. Okay. Go check it out. Rebecca, I bought your program. I can't get in. I know I can't. I saw your thing. Did you, because there's two things. I'm so glad you're here because you just reinforced. I think you're in the membership, right? And I think the issue you're having is with the app. Am I understanding that correctly? Because I can fix the membership for you. And that's the important piece. That app I'm getting rid of. Okay. So you can use it for now just to kind of get started. And if you can't, okay. Yes. So you're in the membership. That's the yes. But you're struggling to get into the app. So I'll send you the code one more time. But you know what? This is why I'm getting rid of the app, because I don't get it. 2 people out of 10 are having issues with this app. I can't stand this app anymore. If it is just the app. Okay. So let me tell you this, Rebecca, is the app is really like just another way to get messages, because when you get the app, so you're getting emails, and I'm assuming you got an email this morning. You should got an email this morning with your first hypnosis session to it. So the app is just another messaging system. There's no content in the app. It's just a message that goes straight to your phone. And then, oh, you didn't get the email today. Okay. That I can check, and I'll check if there's something weird going on. Let me write this down, but I will be in contact with you. This is one of the things I wanted to make sure I got taken care of before I get out of here. But the app is like a redundant messaging system. So you're not missing any information. I just want you to know that. But I'm going to make sure that you get into the membership, which I believe you, if I understand that correctly, you're getting into the membership. You didn't get the email yet. Sometimes the email said, well, you'll get it tomorrow morning. So I'll make sure. So if you didn't get today, sometimes the timing gets a little weird with that, but you'll get it tomorrow. And that email is the same message you would get from the app. So I just want you to know that. And what I'm doing right now is I'm getting rid of the app, and I'm going to have a different messaging system that goes to your phone, but it's going to take probably another week for a number to get registered. So I can do that. It doesn't matter. And then you'll get that message to your phone. But I want you to understand that the emails you're getting are the exact same ones you'd get through the app, and they bring you to the exact same place, into the membership area. Okay. And so you should get that email tomorrow morning. If you didn't get it today, I'm literally going to check. You know what? I'm going to literally check right now, because I'm looking right at your thing. So let's make sure you're getting the right stuff. Let me look here. Okay. Yeah. So it's looking, I think there was a little weird thing with the timing. And so what I'm looking at right now is that, no, you did not get the email. So I can see it. So you got the week 1 hypnosis, and I see you open and click that. So that's working. So you're getting emails. And what happened is there was a little bit of time issue. And so you will get the first daily email tomorrow morning at, I believe 6 a.m. And that's the exact one you'd get with the app. The app, if I were you, just forget that app. Okay. Because I'm getting rid of it anyways. And so what's going to happen is, as soon as I get this other messaging system going, which will probably take another week, I'm thinking, then you will start to get if you choose, you can get the phone straight to your phone as well. And I'll get you information about that. Okay. But you're in the system, and, hey, congrats too, by the way. Yeah. Delete that thing. Delete it. I hate that thing, because, I don't know what's up with it. I can't stand that thing. It's okay when it works, kind of, but it's just random issues with it. And then nothing makes me crazier than that. With what's going on here, I can always kind of help you. And the other thing I'm going to fix your names is your name's getting sent out. Your last name's always getting sent out. So let's fix that too. And you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to give you a week coaching access if you want to take advantage of that, just for the bullshit. Because I can't stand this stuff. That's why I want to get rid of this app, because there's nothing worse to me when your first impression is you're dealing with this bullshit. So I appreciate your patience, by the way. I really do. And I think you're gonna love the program. But I'm gonna give you next week. You'll have delete nudge. You can all delete nudge if you want to. Okay, it's gonna be deleted soon. I'm just leaving it for another week or whatever until I get this other thing set up. But then you're gonna be able to get through there. It's just gonna be cleaner. It's gonna work. If any issues come up, I can fix them. And so I'm excited about that part. But anyways, yeah, delete that nudge app. Unless you're using it right now, then you can keep using it now until we get rid of it. So anyways, all right, everyone, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Again, we're here Monday through Friday live. I'm not ready to start till tomorrow. Oh, that's fine. The coaching is next week, next Tuesday. So you'll get information on that. And then if you can't make it next week for whatever reason, we'll just pick a different week. But we'll figure that out. And then, so as long as you're getting the membership thing, everything's in there. Okay. So you got access to everything. That app, just delete it and let's put it right out of our minds. And all right, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a super duper weekend, and we'll talk soon. Have a great weekend. Bye.